the upper part of the human body containing the brain, eyes, ears, nose, and mouth.
Example 1. He nodded his head in agreement.
Example 2. She wore a hat to protect her head from the sun.
Hair, the strands growing from the skin, especially on the head.
Example 1. She brushed her long hair every morning.
Example 2. His hair turned gray as he aged.
Face, the front part of a person's head from the forehead to the chin.
Example 1. Her face lit up with a smile.
Example 2. He washed his face with cold water.
The organ of sight.
Example 1. She has blue eyes.
Example 2. He wears glasses to improve his eyesight.
Nose, the part of the face that contains the nostrils and organs of smell.
She has a small nose.
Example 2. He pinched his nose to avoid the smell.
Mouth, the opening in the face used for eating, speaking, and breathing.
Example 1. She opened her mouth to speak.
Example 2. He covered his mouth when he sneezed.
Ear, the organ responsible for hearing and balance.
Example 1. She whispered into his ear.
Example 2. He has a sharp ear for music.
Lip, the fleshy border of the mouth.
Example 1. She applied lipstick to her lips.
Example 2. He bit his lower lip in thought.
Tooth, the hard bony structures in the mouth used for biting and chewing.
Example 1. She brushed her teeth after every meal.
Example 2. He lost a tooth when he was young.
Tongue, the muscular organ in the mouth used for tasting, licking, swallowing, and speaking.
Example 1. She stuck out her tongue playfully.
Example 2. He burned his tongue on the hot soup.
Neck, the part of the body that connects the head to the torso.
Example 1. She wore a necklace around her neck.
Example 2. He turned his neck to look behind him.
Shoulder, the part of the body where the arm connects to the torso.
Example 1. He carried the heavy bag over his shoulder.
Example 2. She shrugged her shoulders in confusion.
Arm, the limb extending from the shoulder to the hand.
Example 1. He raised his arm to ask a question.
Example 2. She has strong arms from lifting weights.
Hand, the part of the body at the end of the arm, used for holding and manipulating objects.
Example 1. She held the baby's hand while crossing the street.
Example 2. He waved his hand to greet her.
Finger, any of the 5 digits at the end of the hand.
Example 1. She wore a ring on her finger.
Example 2. He pointed his finger at the map.
Thumb, the short, thick first digit of the hand.
Example 1. She gave a thumbs up sign.
Example 2. He used his thumb to scroll through his phone.
Chest, the front part of the body between the neck and the abdomen, containing the heart and lungs.
Example 1. He felt a pain in his chest.
Example 2. She clutched her chest in surprise.
Back, the rear part of the human body, from the neck to the end of the spine.
Example 1. He lay on his back to rest.
Example 2. She patted him on the back for encouragement.
Waist, the part of the body between the ribs and hips, usually the narrowest part of the torso.
Example 1. She wore a belt around her waist.
Example 2. He put his hands on his waist in frustration.
Stomach, the internal organ in which food is digested, located in the abdomen.
Example 1. He had a pain in his stomach.
Example 2. She felt butterflies in her stomach before the performance.
Leg, the limb used for standing, walking, and running.
Example 1. He broke his leg while skiing.
Example 2. She crossed her legs while sitting.
Knee, the joint between the thigh and the lower leg.
Example 1. He injured his knee during the game.
Example 2. She knelt on one knee to tie her shoe.
Foot, the lower extremity of the leg, used for standing and walking.
Example 1. She stood on her tiptoes to reach the shelf.
Example 2. He walked barefoot on the sand.
Toe, any of the 5 digits at the end of the foot.
Example 1. She painted her toenails red.
Example 2. He stubbed his toe on the door.
Skin, the outer covering of the body, protecting it from the environment.
Example 1. She applied lotion to her dry skin.
Example 2. He has sensitive skin that burns easily in the sun.
Bone, the hard, dense structures that form the skeleton of the body.
Example 1. He broke a bone in his arm.
Example 2. Bones provide support and structure to the body.
Brain, the organ located in the skull that controls the body's functions and mental processes.
Example 1. The brain is the center of thought and memory.
Example 2. She used her brain to solve the puzzle.
Heart, the muscular organ that pumps blood through the circulatory system.
Example 1. His heart was racing after the workout.
Example 2. She has a kind heart and always helps others.
Either of the two organs in the chest that supply oxygen to the blood and remove carbon dioxide.
Example 1. Smoking can damage the lungs.
Example 2. She took a deep breath to fill her lungs with fresh air.
Liver, a large organ in the abdomen that detoxifies chemicals and metabolizes drugs.
Example 1. The liver plays a crucial role in digestion.
Example 2. Alcohol can cause damage to the liver.
Kidney, a pair of organs in the abdominal cavity that filter waste products from the blood and excrete them as urine.
Example 1. The kidneys filter waste from the blood to form urine.
Example 2. Kidney function is crucial for maintaining the body's chemical balance.
Blood, the red liquid that circulates in the arteries and veins, carrying oxygen and nutrients to the body's cells.
Example 1. Blood donors save lives by donating blood.
Example 2. The human body contains about 5 liters of blood.
Vein, a blood vessel that carries blood towards the heart.
Example 1. The nurse found a vein to insert the IV.
Example 2. Veins carry deoxygenated blood back to the heart.
Muscle, a tissue in the body that has the ability to contract, producing movement in or maintaining the position of parts of the body.
Example 1. He flexed his muscles after the workout.
Example 2. Muscles are responsible for body movement.
Joint, a point where two bones are joined together in the body.
Example 1. His joints ached from the cold weather.
Example 2. Joints are important for flexibility and mobility.
Elbow, the joint between the upper and lower parts of the arm.
Example 1. She leaned on her elbow while reading.
Example 2. She bent her elbow to pick up the book.
Wrist, the joint connecting the hand with the forearm.
Example 1. She wore a bracelet on her wrist.
Example 2. The wrist allows for a range of hand movements.
Palm, the inner surface of the hand between the wrist and fingers.
Example 1. She placed her palm flat on the table.
Example 2. He held the coin in the palm of his hand.
Nail, the hard covering at the tip of fingers and toes.
Example 1. She painted her nails bright red.
Example 2. Nails protect the sensitive tips of fingers and toes.
Ankle, the joint connecting the foot with the leg.
Example 1. He twisted his ankle while running.
Example 2. The ankle is a common site for sprains.
Heel, the back part of the foot below the ankle.
Example 1. She felt a sharp pain in her heel.
Example 2. He rested his heel on the footstool.
Sole, the underside of the foot.
Example 1. The soles of his shoes were worn out.
Example 2. The sole provides support while walking.
Hip, the bony structure that forms the upper part of the pelvis.
Example 1. She rested her hands on her hips.
Example 2. The hip joint supports the weight of the body.
Thigh, the part of the leg between the hip and the knee.
Example 1. Her thigh muscles were sore after the run.
Example 2. She rubbed her sore thigh after exercising.
Calf, the back portion of the lower leg.
Example 1. He massaged his calf to relieve the cramp.
Example 2. Calf muscles are important for walking and running.
Shin, the front part of the leg between the knee and the ankle.
Example 1. She injured her shin during the soccer match.
Example 2. Shin guards protect the shin during sports.
Jaw, the lower part of the face, forming the framework of the mouth and containing the teeth.
He clenched his jaw in anger.
Example 2. The jaw is essential for chewing and speaking.
Cheek, the fleshy part of the face below the eyes.
Example 1. She blushed, her cheeks turning pink.
Example 2. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she cried.
Chin, the protruding part of the face below the mouth, formed by the lower jaw.
Example 1. He stroked his chin thoughtfully.
Example 2. He rested his chin on his hand while thinking.
Forehead, the part of the face above the eyes.
Example 1. She had a small scar on her forehead.
Example 2. Sweat dripped from his forehead after the workout.
Eyebrow, the strip of hair that grows above the eye.
Example 1. She raised an eyebrow in surprise.
Example 2. Her eyebrows are naturally thick and dark.
The short hairs growing on the edges of the eyelids.
Example 1. Her long eyelashes brushed against her glasses.
Example 2. Mascara is used to enhance eyelashes.
Pupil, the black circular part of the eye that allows light to enter.
Example 1. Her pupils dilated in the dim light.
Example 2. The pupils adjust size depending on light levels.
Iris, the colored part of the eye surrounding the pupil.
Example 1. Her iris is a deep shade of brown.
Example 2. The iris controls the amount of light entering the eye.
Eardrum, the membrane in the ear that vibrates to sound waves, enabling hearing.
Example 1. The loud sound ruptured his eardrum.
Example 2. He had surgery to repair a damaged eardrum.
Gum, the soft tissue surrounding the base of the teeth.
Example 1. She felt pain in her gums while brushing her teeth.
Example 2. Gum disease can lead to tooth loss.
Throat, the front part of the neck, containing the esophagus, larynx, and vocal cords.
Example 1. She cleared her throat before speaking.
Example 2. A sore throat can make swallowing painful.
Voice box larynx, the organ in the neck involved in breathing, producing sound, and protecting the trachea against food aspiration.
Example 1. The doctor examined her voice box for any abnormalities.
Example 2. The larynx is also known as the voice box.
Spine, the column of bones, vertebrae, that supports the head and body and protects the spinal cord.
Example 1. He injured his spine in the accident.
Example 2. The spine is made up of 33 vertebrae.
Rib, the bones that form the protective cage around the thorax, chest, and support the upper body.
Example 1. She felt a sharp pain in her ribs after the fall.
Example 2. Ribs protect vital organs like the heart and lungs.